Not 5 yet.
Welcome, everybody, to the regularly stated meeting of the Yarmouth Conservation Commission. Today's meeting is for Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. This is to formally advise that as required by General Law, Chapter 38, Sections 18 through 25, and pursuant to Chapter 20 of the Acts of 2021, an act relative to extending certain COVID-19 measures adopted during the state of emergency, signed into law on June 16, 2021, is extended by Chapter 2 of the Acts of 2023. The Yarmouth Conservation Commission will hold a public meeting at the date and time noted above. Public is welcome to attend either in person or via the alternative public access provided. Again, this is the Yarmouth Conservation Commission meeting for Thursday, January 2nd, 2025. Our first order of business is a request for determination of applicability. Joseph and Sheila Pandolfo, 36 Shoreside Drive, a proposed addition, deck, and driveway in land subject to coastal storm flowage. Kieran.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members. For the record, my name is Kieran Healy. I'm a land surveyor with the BSC Group. With me tonight is the owner of the project, Mr. Joe Pandolfo. As mentioned on the opening there, we are proposing to do some modifications to this property. We're looking to remove and replace a deck on the westerly side. We're looking to fill in a garage that's on the easterly side and add a garage and some living area on the north side of the property. The only resource here is the flood zone. There are no wetlands within 100 feet of the property. We're proposing a minimum amount of fill just to bring the driveway up to get into the new garage elevation. And other than that, it's a pretty straightforward, just modification to the existing site. Be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, and the driveway is pervious? So
Driveway is pervious. I spoke to Brittany earlier about that. If we do choose to go or decide to go for an impervious one, we understand that we would have to come back in front of the board and request.
all right, great. All right, any questions from the board?
No.
No? Brittany, anything?
No, just pervious driveway and disposal of this fill off-site once the project is completed.
Most definitely, yes.
Okay, anybody in the audience have any comments, questions on this one? Does anybody have anybody on Zoom have any questions, comments? Raise your hand digitally. I see none.
Ed, I'm just curious what the plastic patio, what is that?
It's kind of,
So what I did is, it's really like a dance floor. So I wanted to put something down instead of putting the furniture on the grass. So it's a temporary, just did it this summer. And I didn't want to do anything permanent because I knew I'd be doing this and I knew I had to go to conservation. So
Great, thanks.
that's what they use when you have a, like in a wedding or something. I went online and they're pretty good, pretty stable to walk on and everything.
Okay, thanks.
Okay, anybody else? Unless there's further discussion, would somebody like to make a motion for a -2?
So moved. So moved.
Okay, and was there a second?
I'll second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously.
thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members.
Thank you very much. And compliment to Brittany and her new guy, Joe. She does a great job. She really does. I've been doing this for 50 years. I've been all over. I'm in construction, so I've dealt with a lot of departments. She does a nice job. She made it really easy for me.
Saying Yarmouth is the best one you've ever been to?
Sure.
Okay.
I'm very serious, because conservation is a tough one. You know, people don't like conservation people, so I'm serious. But she's great, so I appreciate it. All right, thank you.
We feel this thing, yes.
Thank you very much.
All right, thank you. Our next order of business is a notice of intent for SE 83 SE 83, I forgot which town I was in. SE 83-2457, Joseph Senerchia for 194 Pockanocket Drive. Proposed new construction of a single-family dwelling and land subject to coastal storm flowage and the buffer zone to a vegetated wetland.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman. Again, for the record, my name is Kieran Healy. I'm a land surveyor with the BSC Group, representing the owner of the property. About 3.5 years ago, 4 years ago, we were in on this particular site, and we received an order of conditions to build a house and a single-car garage. This is pretty much exactly the same, with the exception that it's a two-car garage. The footprint of the house is almost identical. The porch and the patio in the rear are pretty similar. The septic system is in the same location. The driveway, the drainage, all of the items that were brought in for the previous order conditions and approved by the town are incorporated into this filing as well. We're proposing a pervious driveway. The primary reason for that is that the existing grade out the street is at elevation 6.5, and the garage slab is at 11.3, so that's a rise of 5 feet. And with crushed stone, you really can't drive up in without spinning out the wheels and kicking up those stones every time. So we proposed a pervious driveway, and then at the bottom, we're proposing a trench drain to capture any water that may come down. And we have an infiltration system just to the south of the driveway to capture anything that might come onto that driveway. The site itself has wetlands to the north, and one of the lagoons is over on the westerly side. We do go into the 50-foot setback a little bit with the parking area for the 2 cars. We've minimized it as much as we could, but it's the only way to get a kind of a turnout on the property. So that's the only area that's within. You can see it's kind of cut into the green area for the proposed landscape right there that Brittany's identifying on the screen. Other than that, everything is outside the 50-foot buffer, and I'd be glad to answer any questions that you may have.
Okay, questions from the board?
On the paved driveway, you're saying it's what kind of slope?
It's a, it goes from elevation 3 at the garage down to elevation 6 at the street.
So that's pretty. And what are they proposing on the, instead of that, what kind of, is it going to be?
It's a
Proposing,
paved, yeah.
we're proposing bituminous pavement, blacktop.
And they recognize the, and that's pervious, you said?
No, that is impervious. That's why we're putting the trench drain at the bottom
Okay, right.
to capture anything
Yeah,
that would run
yeah.
down that.
Anybody else?
Are there any trees there going to stay, like the one in the front of the house?
Yeah, just
One in the front of the house, I discussed that earlier with Brittany, and apparently that one is going to have to be removed, and one of the potential orders of conditions tonight would be to replace that. And we're perfectly fine with that being a recommendation.
And we would just be asking for 2-to-1 since it's a many stem tree. And you could put it in the existing mitigation area, but we'll just do a condition so you don't have to provide a revised plan.
Great. And we can put it in the proposed mitigation area?
Yeah.
Okay, that would be great. Last time I worked on this site was in 1999, so it's been around for a few years.
Okay, anybody else? Brittany, anything else?
Nope, that's all. Thank
Any-
you.
Anybody in the audience on this one? Anybody on Zoom? All right, if there's no further discussion from the board, would somebody like to make a motion to approve the plan with special conditions? Second?
I'll second it.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously.
And thank you, Mr. Chairman. Thank you, members. Thank you, Brittany.
Thanks, Karen.
COCs were all easy.
Except for Powers.
Powers Lane.
Right, okay, so I'm gonna do Powers Lane first, or the COCs, the certificates of compliance. So first one is a request for certificate of compliance for SE 83-2148, Great Island Ocean Club. Powers Lane road improvements review for, okay, we're reviewing, we have reviewed this for,
I think Down Cape was going to be here for this one, and I don't see them here. So do you want to do the other ones first? Not that it'll get them
That's
more than
saying-
2 minutes.
Not us, right? That's not somebody hanging around, is it?
Read what it says.
All right, well, I will table this for the time being, although we're not going to be here much longer, I don't think. I'll give them just enough time to come in here. Otherwise, I will move on to easy certificates. We have requests for certificate of compliance for SE 83-2297, Joseph Sonertia, 194 Pawcanagat Drive. SE 83-1544, Malcolm Nolan for 64 White Cedar Road. SE 83-1894, Malcolm Nolan, 64 White Cedar Road. And SE 83-2308, Joshua Bellata for 80 Wilson Road. Do I have a motion to issue the certificates of compliance for SE 83-2297, SE 83-1544, SE 83-1894, and SE 83-2308?
Well, I can't speak, but yes.
Okay, is there a second?
I gave it to Bradford.
I saw Paul there. We'll spread the love out here. All right, all those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously.
Aye.
Karen?
Good night.
Know that they should be here to discuss this item, and
Oh, we'll be
I
putting that one on hold then.
didn't hear anything that they wouldn't be here.
Okay, so this first one for White Cedar, there are 2 signatures that you need to do.
Are you all here for Powers Lane?
Are you here for Powers Lane?
Okay, that just passed.
Okay, so you're all good to go?
Yes, both of them passed. So I can mail them to you unless you'd prefer to pick them up. Would you?
I wanted to mail them.
Okay, I'll mail them to you.
Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Paul, could you check in the 194 Pawcanagat notice, is there a certificate of compliance signature sheet underneath it? Should be underneath
On the front, clip to
the
the
front,
front.
front board? No, on the front of the folder. Is there another one underneath that?
No. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, yes, there is.
Okay, sign that and send it back this way, please. Thank you.
And you gotta do on the second, this one.
Yeah, great, thanks.
All right, so this is the last call for Great Island Ocean Club. The representative is not here, and there are issues with this one. So what I would like to do is I'll just table this to the 16th, right?
Yeah, I guess so.
All right, so I'm tabling SE 83-2148,
Missed, we missed
No, I thought I got,
on this one.
January 16th. All right, so I'm sorry, so,
This week, I'm Elaine Brazio, 19 Powers Lane. I'm the one that's being flooded. My septic system and my leaching field in my driveway at 19 Powers. Originally, we were told that this was gonna have to be moved in November. And it's been put off and put off and put off. And I'm just a little concerned because they know that there's a problem there. They know what they've done. And I just need. This one's gotta go that way. They missed it.
So if you would review the engineered letter sent from the engineer, they don't see that that the work that was completed is causing. Here he is.
jeez. All right, stand by.
Sorry, we had a very quick, speedy beginning of the meeting. Yeah.
Dan Ojala from Downcape Engineering. I wrote the letter on this one, and if you guys have any questions, I'd be glad to address it.
Do you need to read it back into the record?
Yes, I do.
Yeah,
All Right, so hold on for just 1 second. We're doing a request for certificate of compliance. This is for SE 83-2148 Great Island Ocean Club Powers Lane Road Improvements. And we're here because we have some issues with a violation of special conditions. That's the flooding that we're talking about, right?
Yeah, for
Okay.
potential violation of the special
All
conditions.
right, do you want to say anything first, or should we just?
Sure. The issue was brought up previously by homeowners in the neighborhood reporting flooding. The road work was completed around 2018, early 2019, and it was just to pave an additional portion on the top of Powers Lane to increase the roadway. And a portion of pavement was patched in front of a speed bump, which is, the owner was reporting that she was seeing more flooding, and she thought it was due to that pavement patch. So we sent them an enforcement order to get the certificate of compliance moving along so that we could see an as-built plan showing spot elevations in areas. And the as-built plan doesn't show major deviations from elevations in the area on the roadway. So that's what in Dan's letter, it says that, in their opinion, the drainage flow would not have been substantially changed by the patch in the pavement. Although there is another tiny issue. The beach grass was supposed to be planted on the north side of the road, and it does not appear to have been planted just on one property at 2 Powers Lane. So this is not stabilized, so it will have to be planted with beach grass this season in order to stabilize this sand area. So
Yeah, that's, if you want to have that as an ongoing condition, we'd be happy to maintain that. Depending on how bad the winter storms are, you can get a lot of sand blowing across the road, and it's kind of an active area, but we can certainly put some more plugs in there on that north side.
Yeah, it looked like the other properties were well vegetated. It was just this property that was loose sand. And here's a photo from today of the pavement patch we were talking about. It is very flat, and the speed bump would kind of prohibit water from flowing down that driveway.
Yeah, it's a situation where we didn't really do any work near that driveway whatsoever. It's only on the other side of the speed bump from the driveway, so I can't really see how it could have impacted it, hardly at all, if anything. And in addition, the original developer retained rights to drain the road in the shoulder anyway. So even if we did increase it a very slight amount, I think it's well within the rights to drain along the edge. So, and you can see from the grades there that it's a very small area of road because the high point is basically the speed bump. All the water that's to the north, there's a tiny bit of that works in towards her side, but almost everything else goes to the east and north. The intersection is lower than her driveway. As soon as you get past that little way there, everything's pitched to the north. So it's not very much water. There's no question there's a slight puddle in her driveway. The pavers have settled over the septic, and I'm not arguing that there's a little puddle there, but I'm just saying that's not, because we didn't do anything in front of there, I don't think it's the fault of the association. And they are allowed to drain a little bit in there anyway.
I would agree. So it would just be up to the commission if you would accept an ongoing condition waiting for planting, or if you'd like to table until June, the first meeting in June, so that we can see that they've done the planting. But it's up to the board.
How big an area is it again? Could you show me?
For the planting, it's just all along the front of 2 Powers Lane. Spans 30 feet. They had planted the rest. This is where it stops.
You can see in the aerial here from 2019, that area, there's some sand had blown out onto the road. I'm sure that probably didn't help. But the others seem to be maintaining well, so I'm sure with some plugs in there, that would do well. It's up to you folks. Obviously, most of the work has been complete for a while now. It wouldn't hurt to wait, or if you want to close it out with just a note to follow up, that's fine as well. Whatever you'd like to do.
I think I would be inclined to hold on and wait to plant, and then I would certainly encourage doing an ongoing condition for maintaining the beach grass planting, but I think we should wait. I think it's gonna be hard to plant that, to be honest with you.
The slope.
Yeah. I mean, I'm hoping, so.
You're talking about, excuse me, you're talking about small plugs and,
Yeah, beach grass plugs.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree with you.
I think we just need to wait, make sure it goes in, and then, I mean, I don't suspect that it wouldn't be planted, but I'm just,
Yeah.
I'm just
that's- I mean,
saying I'd
that's what
rather
we-
wait
That's what we usually do.
and
with
have
our
it,
missing
have the
plantings.
planting done.
No, it's simpler that way, and that's a fine solution. That way we can make sure it's done before you issue.
So beach grass is usually available in March and suggested
It should
to
be open.
planted.
You should be able to get it. You might be able to still get some
Okay.
from right now, so because we're just coming into prime beach grass planting season in the end of next month, so.
so
Do you want to table them too?
what would be the number of plugs per square foot or
It's in
yard
the
or-
order of conditions.
Yeah, it's usually 12 inches on center or 18 inches on center. Here, I think I would say you would go for 12 inches, I would think, but whatever it's called for is what
That's the
they have to
normal.
plant. But that's the normal,
Even for a steep slope?
Yeah.
normally, yeah.
Where is this?
Just have a question about that area. Was that little berm, or whatever you want to call it there, was that there prior to resurfacing the road, or was that something
Yes.
done afterwards?
No, that was there.
It was there.
Yeah.
I think we did cut into that and reform that slope a little, but the berm has always been there. But I think we did cut into it a little, which is why the vegetation was disturbed.
Yeah, because it doesn't really look like a natural occurring type of a thing, maybe because it's along the road.
I think it was put in as part of the original home being built. On
Like
that, on
the
that
larger
corner.
berm itself.
Yeah.
Yeah, that could well be. Yeah, the topo on the original plan would show the slope there.
So this says, beach grass culms 12 inch on center by April 15th of the year. So we can do the first one in May.
12 inches, right?
Yeah.
So, okay, so that I understand further, so that was supposed to be done but never was.
Yeah, it also may have been done, it was done on the rest of it, but it didn't stick. So they
Okay.
just are required to maintain it and
Okay.
try again.
Okay. And there wasn't any kind of inspection type of a process having to do
No,
it?
we
No.
don't usually do compliance checks in the middle of when a permit is open because there would be no time.
Okay.
But we try when we can.
All right, thank you.
I mean, I don't know, that it might not be a bad idea for them to add like a jute mat over top of it and plant through, but just to hold, it would just keep, I mean, I'm not saying that they have to do it, I'm just saying,
Yeah, it might be a good idea because it looks like it's just going to wash away with that steep grade right there.
well,
Yeah, I mean, beach
We'll let
grass is
the-
planted on steep dunes all the time. The fact that this one's next to a road
Okay, well, if you're good with
make
it,
it
I'm
more
okay with it.
difficult, but I
I
don't,
mean, they'll just have to keep replanting, so it's not,
I'll tell them it's an option, but I don't think we need to require them use the jute.
With a small area such as this, I would think that that would really be helpful. We have a big slope that's
I will,
a little different.
like I said, I'm not the one paying for it, so if
Do you wanna
that's what they want
require
to
it or
do.
recommend it?
No, I'm
Yeah.
just recommending, that's all I'm saying.
Full recommendation.
Well, at the present time, it doesn't contribute to any kind of drainage problem, having that. It's secondary to that, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, okay.
May 1st?
May 1st is good with me. That's the the unofficial end of beach grass planting season, so.
Correct.
All right, so we're good with that. We'll just, do I have a motion to continue this until sometime after May 1st?
I will.
Oh, actually, no, I'm not going to say that.
On May 1st is the.
I'm going to say May 1st only because, and then if you come in early, you come in early, so, okay.
I just have another question about this, though, if I may.
Yeah,
So the engineer, and I'm assuming that was you,
Yes.
provided, you don't believe that the, the pavement created a stormwater issue, right?
Exactly, yeah. The point being that the driveway is over where it says paver driveway. Zero work was done in that area. There was nothing done. There's been no change for 15 or 20 years in that area. There's a speed bump, and to the west of that, we had a small patch on the north side. Instead of just doing like a little triangular patch, they instead just ground it down and overlaid that area. That area there is, you can see pitched a little bit to the west even. It goes from 977 to 974 to 970. So that water, to the best that I can tell, is actually sheeting away from her driveway. And so again, that should have no impact. And so that's what I base my opinion on. It's simply a non-factor. Does she have a puddle on the driveway? Yes, but it's probably the back of her roof and certainly her driveway and a little bit of the road in front that's always drained onto it. You know, and to fix that many years ago, she put a strip drain in. But again, the sand blows right up that walkway. You can see even in the aerial photograph, the strip drain is filled up with sand. You probably have to shop vac it out every year to keep that from puddling. So it's more of a maintenance issue on her side of things than anything having to do with the association, in my opinion.
Has to do with the association?
More, it has to do with her maintaining her property than it does with the association having responsibility. She had expressed a desire to have the association, you know, fix the drainage in that area. And I'm just saying that, and she blamed this project for it. This project did not affect that drainage. It's just simply years of, you know, again, she put the septic under the pavers. They've settled a little. She's got a little bird bath about where it says 10-foot easement there. There's no question that that could have been done better and raised up a little bit, but, you know, she'll just have to redo it. Probably if she maintains the strip drain, that would help. And even just, you know, just maybe edging it, freshening up the edging. It's all sand, so the water goes in pretty quickly, but there is a short-term puddle there, but it's simply nothing to do with this project. We simply didn't do any work over there. The work that we did do is west of the speed bump, which is the high point, and it sheets the other direction. So it's just not a factor in her driveway drainage situation.
So,
Little to no effect.
excuse me. Ed, so the drain is totally on her property?
It is. It's right on the lot line, but an inch or two onto her side. And again, if I referenced the deed documents, all land court properties, and I put right on the plan the reference where the rights, there's a 15-foot water easement, a 10-foot utility easement, and the right to drain the roadway and the common areas onto the shoulders of every lot in this subdivision. And so the association does have the right to drain water onto her property, and it would, and if she puts in, you know, a semi-impervious driveway and blocks that water, she can't then complain about it. You know, they have the right to put the water there. She should, you know, create a situation that allows the water to infiltrate, and, you know, she can't say, oh, you know, you're putting water on my property illegally. It's legal.
So essentially, the drain or the land going there is an easement?
Yes, the water, the association,
Or
it burdens the private property owners with having to take care of the water from the roadway, at least in front of their property, you know.
I didn't understand
Yes.
the easement is whose responsibility?
So the easement, it's a subservient and subservient estate. So the dominant estate is the association. They have the right to put water onto her property and infiltrate it. So she's subservient to that right. And if she seals her driveway and doesn't allow the water to infiltrate, she can't complain. She's responsible for the water.
But that's their easement and their drain.
By deed, yeah.
Yes, well, what it says is they have a right to put subsurface infiltration naturally into the shoulders of the roadway for both the road and the common areas.
Who's responsible for the actual maintenance on that drain?
It would be, it would be nature, you know, it's natural. In other words, a sandy shoulder should infiltrate. If you seal it off with a paved driveway, then I think that probably then the subservient estate would be responsible for making sure that they restore it to a natural
So I'm not
condition.
Understanding what kind of drain it is.
Oh, it's just country-style drainage. You just shoulder drainage, water goes to the shoulder, goes into the sand. So
Okay.
that's all that's ever designed there. Were there a formal leaching pit like we did further down, and it's in the right-of-way, then I would say absolutely, the homeowners association should clean that out and, you know, restore it. But here, where it's just the ability to drain onto the shoulders, it's just something that shouldn't be restricted by the homeowners. They have to passively allow the water, and if they do something to block that water, I think that they would be on the wrong side of it. It's just natural shoulder drainage is what it's described as. They're required to allow it to enter their property and drain into the ground.
Okay, all right, thank you.
Getting into that.
All right, yeah, I think we'll, because we're starting to go astray of what we're supposed to be talking about here. So unless there's any further discussion related to the wetland side of it,
Yeah, so just a clarification on your last comment. So there may be a problem with drainage here, and very often we talk in these meetings about drainage from various properties not causing difficulties. So that does not apply in this particular case?
he's certifying, the engineer is certifying that it's not an issue, and it doesn't certainly, I mean, it appears to me that this, I would agree with him, that there's not enough of a change in elevation that's gonna create, that's showing that the association, but
all right.
regardless of that, that's, when you start talking about the easements and things like that, that's not
I'm not talking
our-
about easements, I'm talking about water in the road, and was there more after this work was done, or is it the same as when it was
Well,
done?
I think that's what they were saying, is that,
It's the same as it was for 20-plus years, in my opinion. Because there's been zero work done on that side of the speed bump. If you do nothing, you, by definition, don't make it any worse, right? I think we can agree to that. If I bring in a project and I do nothing with respect to drainage, then you can't say, oh, you made it worse. It's simply a null question. On this side of the speed bump, there was a very thin sheer overlay, but as you can see, it's pitched towards us, not away towards the driveway. So, you know, to the extent that there might be a few more molecules that go on, that could be, but it's extremely limited, and in my opinion, it's no worse than it was before, and it's sheeted this way. And we spent a good amount of money down the end of the road because the whole thing pitches down at the low point, putting in a nice drainage system, which, as I explained, isn't a 100-year storm or anything like that, but it makes the situation better than it was. And it enhances the shoulder drainage, and it has been doing a fairly good job down on the west end. This is the high point. It's very little water. Is the driveway and has the driveway always been a little bit lower than the road, and is there a slight puddle? Yes. Is that the association's problem? In my opinion, no. We have the right to put water onto her lot, and, you know, to the extent that she's got to clean her drain, that should be on her.
okay. Let's see, where we know, so we're looking to have a motion to continue this certificate of compliance request to May 1st, 2025. Is there a second?
Second.
Can't read any of this writing at all. All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously.
Mr. Nolan told me on the way out that you handled his matter already?
Yes, that was approved.
Wonderful, I appreciate that. It's a nice natural site. Was there anything else that you need me for tonight?
No, that's
No,
the end of
we're
the
all set.
agenda. So you're
Wonderful,
all
thank
set.
you so much, appreciate it.
I'm sorry, this is a certificate of compliance hearing. We don't, first of all, the hearing is closed, and we don't take public comment at certificate of compliance hearings.
Just some incorrect information that's been presented here.
Again, we have closed the hearing on this, for this particular certificate, And if you feel that there's some issue that was going to, again, it has nothing to do with the Conservation Commission at this point. Okay? I mean, if you feel like you've been aggrieved, then you need to seek legal counsel.
And certainly, our door is open. My email is downcape@downcape.com. Ping an email over, and I'll address it to the best of my ability. Be no problem to deal with it. And we'll be back here in a couple of months anyway, so we can address it again at that time. But be happy to look at it prior. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Dan. All right, next order of business is a continued stormwater permit application for SW 2024-002, Emad Zaran, 228 Route 28, proposed redevelopment into a mixed-use building, and the peer review process has not been completed yet. So we are going to have to go to the 16th. Is that what we're aiming for?
I think it's close. And I'm working with town council to change this regulation.
Okay,
I'm waiting for a response.
all
So
right.
we can hear these only once peer review has been complete and not continue them.
That would make it a lot easier.
We're working on it.
Let's see, do I have a motion to continue this to January 16th, 2025?
So moved. Yeah. I'll second it.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimously. Other business, we have approval of meeting minutes for November 21st and December 6th.
I reviewed them. They,
You're good with it? Were you at both those meetings?
actually, I was not at the December 6th one, but I did review the minutes.
But you can do the,
21st, do you want to do the, okay?
I think Jack was not here on the
No.
21st.
Which one?
On the 21st? Can review it after.
All right, so do I have a motion for the November 21st? Is there a second?
Second.
Thank you. All those in favor, say aye. Opposed? Carries unanimously. And then did somebody review, that was here for December 6th? Did somebody review that one?
Yeah.
Okay, Jack, you can,
We can't do that one because you and Bradford were both not here.
On 6?
we will be tabling the minutes
For David.
for December 6th, 2024.
Friday.
Yeah, we had to do Friday, so our people who
Oh, I
were.
was in,
Oh, yeah.
Well, that's right, I wasn't here,
Morning.
so, all right, so much for that one.
So only- Yeah.
All right,
In the
other
morning?
business,
yes, I was,
you were
I was
You
here
were
in the
here.
morning.
Yeah.
That's only 3. We need 4.
Yeah, no, I'm not arguing,
David.
I'm just saying I was here.
Well,
Ed and I weren't.
all right, any other business not reasonably anticipated? Nope.
business.
Brittany? All right, if not, then would somebody like to make a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Carries unanimous, so we stand adjourned at 5:36.